not Christians, even if they think of themselves as Christian. You know what they are, even though they tell you.
I'm not presenting my opinion here. This press release is offered to people to look down it and say, look, these people who call themselves Christians actually don't read the Bible, don't go to church, don't believe Jesus was the Son of God, don't even know what the first book of the New Testament is.
But Richard,
it's up to you to make up your mind whether you think they're Christian. Don't ask me. My opinion is not relevant.
Richard, if I said to you, what is the full title of The Origin of Species? I'm sure you could tell me that.
Yes, I could.
Go on then.
On the Origin of Species, on the Origin of Species, there is a subtitle with respect to the preservation of favoured races in the fight in the struggle for life.
You're the high pope of Darwinism.
Not bad, I'd give him some justice.
But if you asked people who believed in evolution what that question, and you came back and said 2% got it right, it would terribly easy for me to go, they don't really believe it after all. It's just not fair to ask people these questions. They self-identify as Christians, and I think you should respect that.
You believe there's no mountain you can climb, and if you get it wrong, you get it right next time.
On the Origin of Species, on the Origin of Species, there is a subtitle with respect to the preservation of favoured races in the fight in the struggle for life.
You're the high pope of Darwinism.
You've got people like Richard Dawkins at Oxford. The motto there is, "The Lord is my light." And I was sharing last night something very curious happened to Mr. Dawkins a few weeks ago. He was on a live radio program with the former dean of St. Paul's Cathedral. And interestingly, the dean himself was somewhat liberal in his religious worldview, but he nowhere near as Dawkins is. So Dawkins was mocking the Christian and made this comment that most Christians and I probably couldn't even name the first 4 Gospels. And so the dean of St. Paul looked at him and he said, "Richard, you're a great defender of Charles Darwin and his book, The Origin of Species." And he said, "Yes, I am." He said, "That's not the full title, as you know. It's a longer title." And Dawkins says, "Yes, yeah." He said, "Can you name the full title for me?" And Dawkins said, "Yeah, I know, there is a full title." He said, "I know, go ahead, name it, name it." And Dawkins starts, it says, "The Origin of Species," oh my God, he said. You'll have to pardon me for even repeating that. But as the old bumper sticker said, as long as there are math tests, there will always be prayer in the schools. And so here was an avowed atheist who couldn't remember the title of The Origin of Species by means of natural selection, which is what the full title is. He couldn't remember it and actually called upon God, whom he didn't believe in, to help him remember the title that he wanted to quote.